Hello everyone. Okay, so here we start our next video of our chapter number 9, that is the making of nationalism 1870s to 1947. Okay, so basically in this video what are we going to study about is this topic towards independence and partition. In the previous video we studied about quit India and later. So what was in the quit India and later, we learned about that Mahatma Gandhi began a new phase of the movement of civil disobedience movement, and he named that movement as quit India movement, and asked Indians to do so, and gave the notion also do or die, and also asked Indians to either you make Britishers do, or you die for India. Okay, that is what the notion of Mahatma Gandhi. And then after, and all of this should happen non-violently. This was the message of Gandhiji. Now Gandhiji was doing this, and a lot of youth has came became the part of this, movement, new phase of the movement. Somewhere people were setting their own governments, and government was repressing these all revolts, everything so brutally that records are also mentioned that 90,000, over 90,000 people were arrested and thousands were killed. Okay, now here the thing comes towards independence and partition. So let me tell you, in this chapter, it is a very short explanation of the time duration between 1870s to 1947. Otherwise, it is a very expended time and it has a lot of things to learn about. But still, in a very short version, it is mentioned in your NCRT textbook, but it is very important. Okay. So don't worry, in this chapter, I'm not telling you these bows and the INA, these brown boxes, right? This one is also very important. From this, questions do come in your exams. So we will also learn, I'll also teach you all of that, but in some further videos, not currently. Okay. So towards independence and partition. So basically what happened? In 1940, Muslim League had moved a resolution demanding independent states for Muslims in northwestern and eastern areas of the country. The resolution did not mention any partition or Pakistan. Okay? Why did the League ask for an autonomous arrangement for the Muslims of the subcontinent? So we know Muslim League, right? We learned about Muslim League in 19, which was built in 1906, supported Britishers in the partition of Bengal, right? And due to this, Britishers also fulfilled their demand of having some reserved seats in the parliament, in the British parliament, and this demand was taken by Britishers in 1909, and seats were reserved for Muslims. Okay, then, after Muslim leagues and INC leaders joined each, were in not in good terms, but they again get to in terms, right? Now, what happened in 1940? Somehow, Muslim League felt that Muslims are need to have a different nation. Muslims need to have a different place. They wanted particular areas for Muslims. In which part of India? So in India, where they wanted the places, particular places for Muslims, were the northwestern areas. These areas, this is north, this is west, right? So these areas, they wanted some places in these areas, particularly for Muslims, and also the eastern areas here, Bengal area, particularly for Muslims, because there are reasons. Why do they want a particular place for Muslims in India? Why do they thought that Muslims should be separated from Hindus somewhere? What was the reasons behind this? We are going to consider those reasons in this video. Okay, so basically, what happened is from the late 1930s, League began viewing Muslims as a separate nation from Hindus. Why do they thought? Because somewhere they were getting the idea that Muslims are a minority, a type of different type which has a total different religion, total different, all the lifestyle, everything is different from Hindus. Hindus have different gods, Muslims have different gods, the wearing sense of Hindus are different, Muslims have different, eating sense is different. Hindus are mostly vegetarian and Muslims are mostly non-vegetarian. So this is how there were differences in between them, which makes very different Muslims from Hindus. And somewhere Muslim League was getting an idea that if They won't make particular places, particular government for Muslims. Muslims will be not given first priority when it comes to Hindus. If they will get merged in India as and start beginning even after the independence, if they start living with Hindus, then they will not be the representatives of India anywhere, because they thought that the Muslims will always be the second priority. And behind this thought, there were reasons. There were reasons which influenced Muslim League to think this. Okay, now what were these reasons? So the very first reason comes that in very first reason comes that there was also a history behind Hindu Muslims, you know, the differentiation, or and this differentiation, this division was always begin with Britishers, but also when Akbar and all of these Muslim rajas were having reign over India, they were also a little um, they were also a little discriminative towards Hindus. They do not follow that much equality in India, but still there were tensions between Hindus and Muslims from the very beginning, okay, from the very past. But in spite of that, if they come to the terms of present, that what is the present things which influenced them? So this is how they found Muslims a minority. The first reason was in the 1937 elections. We know that in 1935, Government of India Act came of 1935, which allowed Indian representatives to take part in elections, and that these elections held in 1937 year, in which we also know that Congress leaders won 7 seats over 11. Okay, so you can see the ratio that 7 were the Congress leaders, and the remaining were maybe the Muslim League people, or not Britishers were be there. Most probably, the remaining was, you can take Muslims. So 7:4. Now you can see which is greater and which is smaller. So that is how they found that Muslims are a minority in India. Okay, and they thought that they will play second fiddle in any democratic structure. What is fiddle term? Fiddle term is basically a role. You can, in this paragraph it is role. Otherwise, its English meaning is just a violin, and there are some other meanings also of a particular word. Okay, that's all. Now here the second reason comes, that was that when the United Provinces elections happened in 1937, in the same year, when these elections happened, after this, during these elections, Muslim League had a desire to make a Congress League party. What was this Congress League party? Basically, INC plus Muslim League. Muslim League. So they thought that their joint party should be made, which will be Congress League. Okay, which will be Congress League. All right. So this Congress League party was desired by the Muslim League, and they asked to join the Congress League party, and to make the Congress League party and have the Congress League party government over all the United Provinces. But Congress refused, rejected this demand. So when this demand was rejected, Congress again felt bad, and they thought that, this is again comes to the Hindu Muslim part. All right. Second thing. Now, the next para is about the third reason was also that Congress's failure to mobilize the Muslim masses in 1930s. Okay. So it has a deep history. I'll tell you in some further video about it, but not now, because the we are currently targeting over NCRT, right? So it is about that there were times when Muslim masses were there in India, and they were needed to mobilize, means to be settled in India. Every Muslim needs to be settled. Okay. So Congress has to do this task, but they failed by doing this task, and this was in 1930 year. Which year? 1930 year, in this year. So these masses were being agitated. These were Muslim masses, so were being agitated by Muslim League, that they and support these masses got support of Muslim League, and they began the protest against Congress leaders. At that time, most of the Congress leaders were in jail. But when the war ended in 1945, British opened. Okay, now So these masses were also supporting Muslim League, that our party is Muslim League, Hindus party is Congress. So all of this happened in around 1940s, and in 1945, when Britishers decided to leave India and give India independence, they began to, even in the end, they again applied the policy of divide and rule, which is the main policy of Britishers during the 200 years reign in India. Okay, so they always followed this policy, and even when they were about to go, again they followed this policy, and they somehow opened the negotiations between Muslims, between Muslim League and the Congress, Indian National Congress. But when they were also supporting somewhere the INC leaders, because INC leaders were correct according to the British people. Okay, so that is how what happened. Muslim League at that time saw themselves as the only sole spokesperson, means the only one who is taking stand for Muslims, who is taking giving support to Muslims, and that was only Muslim League. So Muslim League, this thing was also felt by Muslim League, and the talks, means whatever they were convincing Muslim League that do not do this, do not part India, let it be done happily, let the independence should be given, not do anything. But still Muslim League wanted a different party, they wanted partition, they wanted a different country for Muslims. Okay, and the Congress could not accept this claim since a large number of Muslims still supported it. Congress was not accepting this thing. Maybe even after knowing that Muslims, a large number of Muslim people are supporting this idea, but still they did not wanted this. So today we are going to do this much of this topic. I hope you understood it, but in the next video we are going to complete this whole topic till the elsewhere, okay? And then after we will move to our brown boxes, which has some information, some interesting things to know about. And this is very important, brown box, which needs to be learned. This has more informative part, okay? All right. So if you have any kind of doubt, any question related to this topic, please mention in the comment section. I'll definitely answer. And also, if you like it, like it. Dislike it, dislike it. Bye.